I'm Michael Correa, and this is Psych Exam Review. This is the first video in a series on how you can study more effectively. And so in this first video, I'll describe some of my goals for the series, as well as why I think it's necessary, and how I think you can get the greatest benefit from watching these videos, how you can apply these ideas in order to make the most of them. And so we'll start with the general goal that I have, and that is I hope that this series will give you the knowledge and the skills that you need in order to learn whatever it is that you want to learn. So I want these to be general concepts that you can apply to whatever your particular goals are. And of course, those goals will vary from one viewer to the next. So you might have a goal of improving your grades for a particular class, or you might have a goal of improving your understanding of particular concepts, or you might have a goal about acquiring a new skill that you've always wanted to develop, but you've never really known how to go about acquiring that skill. And so I hope that the things that I cover in this class will be able to be applied to all of those different areas. And I'll do this by introducing some research in cognitive psychology, as well as some of my own experiences and the experiences of students that I've worked with in the past, in order to help demonstrate how people can go about learning more effectively and more efficiently. And the first question that we might have when we think about studying or learning more effectively is, why can't students do this already? After all, if you're a student in college, let's say, and you're looking to improve your learning, well, you've already spent probably more than a decade in formal schooling. And the question arises, well, then haven't you already learned how to learn effectively? I mean, you've taken classes on all sorts of different areas. You've had homework and assignments and all sorts of things that you've done. Haven't you kind of figured it out by now? And unfortunately, the answer to that is, well, no. Most students don't really know how to study effectively. They're kind of just trusting their intuitions and going with what feels right, or maybe what they've done before, but they don't feel like they actually understand the learning process or how to do it most effectively. And so I think there's three main reasons for why students can't do this already. And these are going to be sort of three organizing principles for this series of videos. And the first reason why students might not be able to learn or study most effectively is they simply don't know what they're supposed to do. So we could say the first general problem, the reason why students can't do this already, is they don't know what to do. They don't know the techniques or the strategies. They've never been introduced to these ways of studying or these ways of learning, and so they don't know what they are, and so they can't do them. Now, sometimes students actually have been introduced to some of these ideas, but the problem that they have is they don't know how to apply them most effectively. And so after we look at what some of the techniques and strategies are, we'll think about how you can go about applying those. And this is where I'll try to make this series very practical. I'll try to give you particular steps that you can actually apply after each video, sort of like assignments that you have to actually do in order to get the most benefit. And so you know what to do, and then you also know how you can actually go about doing it. But we still have a third reason why students don't always study effectively or they don't learn most efficiently, and that is they know what to do, they know how to do it, but the problem that they run into is that they can't maintain it over time. And this is something I've struggled with myself. Of course, I'm quite familiar with a lot of the most effective techniques and strategies, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I always use them all the time. And part of the reason for that is it's difficult, it's time-consuming, learning can be frustrating, and so it can be hard to maintain these over time. So I'll try to end the series by thinking about ways that you can maintain these practices over time in order to get the most benefit from them over the long term. Okay, and that brings us to how you can use this series. So the first thing that you can think about is I hope that you'll take some time to actually reflect on your own learning. So it won't be enough to just watch all the videos in this series if you don't actually spend any time thinking about how it applies to your own personal, unique situation and what it is that you want to improve at or what it is that you want to learn or study more effectively for. So take some time, and by that I mean actually reflect on the content. And that's something that you should do after each of the videos. Again, you don't want to just binge watch all the way through a series and then not actually spend any time thinking about your own personal experience. So take some time and reflect. That's the first thing to do in this series. And the second thing is to actually apply. So I'll try to end each video by giving you an assignment where I say, here's how you can actually apply this. And this is what I want you to actually do before you move on to looking at the next step or before you move on to the next topic in the video series. And so you want to actually apply the ideas. And the last thing that I hope that you can do in order to make the most out of this series is to share how it's going for you. In the comments for each video, I want to hear from how people are applying this because, of course, as I said, people have different goals, people have different things they want to get out of this and different ways that they might apply the ideas to their own learning. And so you might be applying it to one particular topic area and somebody else is applying it somewhere else. And by sharing those ideas, people can learn from each other. I'm only one person. I only have one viewpoint. I'm trying to be as familiar as possible with all of the research on learning, but I won't have all the answers and I won't know how to apply it to content areas that I don't know anything about. And so that's where I'm going to hopefully rely on viewers like you to share how it's going, share your experiences with learning, what's worked for you and what hasn't. And hopefully that will benefit others. And hopefully it will benefit you because you can go through and see what other people are saying. And maybe later when you want to apply this idea to that particular content area or a different class, you'll have some practical suggestions from people who said, this is what I did and it actually worked for me. So that's the main way that you can use this series, by reflecting, by applying, and then hopefully by sharing your experiences and seeing the shared experiences of other people. And so I'm going to end by looking at how you can do that for this particular video. This is the first video in the series. I haven't actually talked about any of the content yet. So the first thing that you can do is, just reflect on your own learning. And what I mean by that is think about your past experience. Whoops, sorry, I'm struggling to get my pen to work here. Okay, so for this video, the first thing you can reflect on is your past experience. Think about the experiences you've had with learning and studying. And if I look back at my own college experience in particular, I can think about which classes I seem to still remember some of the content from and which are just a total blur to me now. And I can think about, well, how was that class structured? What kind of assignments were we doing? How was I studying for it? And I can see what was well designed and what wasn't. The things that have stuck with me, 15 years later from a particular class, well, that tells me, okay, there was something going on there that fits with some of the principles that I'm going to talk about. And so you can think about your own experiences. What are the classes that stood out for you? What are the things that you still remember years later? And what are the things that, well, they didn't really work? They were frustrating and you didn't really learn anything long-term, or maybe you passed all the exams, and you still felt like you didn't actually develop any skills. This is particularly common when it comes to things like language learning. A lot of students say, I got A's in high school Spanish, but I didn't actually learn to speak Spanish. And once the tests were over, I very quickly forgot everything. And so we can think about, why was it that was the case? How could the class be improved? How could I have studied better? How could I take on some of that responsibility myself in order to make the most of that learning? So I want you, after this video, to reflect on some of your past experiences for learning. Think about what you think may have worked well and what didn't work so well for you. And then secondly, the sort of official assignment that I want you to apply is I want you to pick just one learning goal that you're going to try to apply all the ideas from this series to. And the reason that I say to pick one goal is that when you learn about how to study more effectively and you learn some of the principles of learning, there's a temptation to say, wow, now that I know this, I'm so much more efficient, I can apply this to everything. I'm going to apply this to all of my classes, and I'm going to do this for everything, and I'm going to set 5 new learning goals because now I know how to learn, and so it will be so much easier to pick up these skills. And basically, the tendency is that you're going to be too ambitious. And that leads to the problem that I mentioned before, that you can't maintain it over time. If you try to apply this to 10 different content areas, what will likely happen is you won't stick with any of them. And so a few months later, you'll feel like I didn't actually really come to understand the learning process for one area. So the assignment for this video is to pick just one singular goal that you're going to apply this to. It might be a particular class, it might be a particular skill, it might be a particular content area that you've always wanted to learn on your own. And you say, okay, I'm going to focus all of the assignments for these videos on that one particular goal. And the reason for that is that, one, it will keep you more focused and you'll actually try to apply the ideas. And the other is that once you've done that effectively, and once you've done maybe over the course of several months, you said, okay, I applied all of this to improving my chemistry score, and now I know what works for me. Now I know after a few months what I'll actually maintain. Maybe this idea sounds good on paper, but when I go to do it, it just doesn't work for me, or I know that I can't maintain it, or I didn't have some other people to help me reflect on this, and so it didn't really work for this goal. So I want you to pick a singular goal, try your best to apply all of these principles to that goal, and then later you can start applying it to other areas. And that's where you can always come back, you can re-watch the videos, you can redo the assignments for a different topic, you can read in the comments and see what other people have used those principles for or used those strategies for. And so for now, just pick one goal. And lastly, as I said before, with sharing ideas, I hope that even just on this first video, you can share some ideas you have about your past experiences with learning or what goal you're hoping to apply this for in order to get the most out of it. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to hearing from some of you in the comments, and I hope that this series will help you to learn and study more effectively in the future.